Bills. The Buffalo Bills, you know, the Buffalo Bills, man.
You said their window was closing, right?
Why? Why do you have to do that? Why did
Hey,
you have
look,
to do that?
if I could find the emoji, the moon John,
Things always come around full circle.
hey,
That's all
all
you
them
know.
tables
I'm
always turn,
always
boy.
I am always called crazy when I say this stuff too early, and then if it hit maybe later on down the road, it's fine. To be honest, if I have to be honest, the departure of Stefon Diggs, I thought would happen last season. I thought that with all of that stuff that we heard that was going on behind the scenes out there in Buffalo, up there in Buffalo, I really thought that a lot of this, would happen before the season started. I thought they would be in shambles, and they were this
close.
They like an 11 seed.
They were this close.
Yeah,
like
there
with
was
4
close.
weeks left to play.
It was pretty close to not making the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? They had to make some changes, fire the offensive coordinator or whatever, did some different things. They started cooking with some grease. Cool. But this is, listen, I want to be very clear. I like Josh Allen. Maybe he is a little reminiscent of Dak. Maybe that's why I like Josh Allen. And I've wanted him to be that guy. Lord knows I wanted him to be that guy to knock off Patrick Mahomes just one time. Damn, and in a meaningful game where you boot him out of the playoffs or something to that extent. That is what I've been looking for from Josh Allen. And I just had a really weird feeling about this season. And they kind of started to plunder. Here we are, not sure of who their wide receiver room even is. They still have Dawson Knox. They still have Josh Allen.
Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir.
They got Kincaid. They got Khalil Shakir.
No, they have Dawson Knox too.
Kincaid,
Kincaid was the one they drafted. Last year.
So they still have Kincaid. So I want to ask the question. I'm gonna start with you, Shooter. Will the Bills be contenders next season, or are we asking this question a little prematurely because again they haven't touched the draft either? I would, Lou, while you're doing it, go ahead and be my statistician, and I would like you to pull up their picks, please. In this year's draft. But go ahead, Shooter.
I'll say this. Now, they made the playoffs before they got Stefon Diggs. However, Josh Allen statistically was far better once he got Stefon Diggs. The question I'm thinking is like, will Josh Allen still be the same Josh Allen now that Diggs is gone? Because I saw who Josh Allen was before he got Stefon Diggs. The talent was already there before he got Stefon Diggs. But, Diggs helped him become a better quarterback.
Excuse me.
Of course, the Bills can go in the draft. They can draft a receiver. If they can find some way to land Rome or Neighbors.
They ain't landing either one of them.
I know. I'm just trying to find lightning in the bottle real quick. I know they ain't gonna land either one. But there's other receivers in this draft where they can land them, that they can pick, and they can be productive for the Bills.
For sure.
Contenders. Are we talking like Super Bowl contenders? Or are we talking
the same kind of contenders? We've held them to a standard the last 5 seasons. That's what I'm talking about.
No, they're not Super Bowl contenders. No. I don't think they'll be contenders. Will they make the playoffs? I believe they'll make the playoffs. I think Josh Allen is good enough to make the playoffs, but I don't.
What's that look that the man gave when he had the drink in his hand?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but honestly, at the same token, you could kind of say their window is closing. Like that window was wide open for 5 years. How long Diggs was there? For like the last 3-4 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and they got to the AFC Championship one time, and people had the Bills as one of the teams going to the Super Bowl damn near every year. They had the Bills at least being in the AFC Championship game, and they went to the Super Bowl. I mean, the AFC Championship one time. So since 2020, that's 4 years, and you only come with the AFC Championship one time, and your best receiver walks out the door. You got Von Miller, that's old. I'm sure he's probably going to be gone soon, and then they'll have to revamp that defense even more.
Here's my thing.
The AFC's getting better. It ain't getting worse.
Yeah, and here's my thing. What Chef is saying is, I understand what you're saying. They're drafting receivers. Their defense.
That sounds good.
They're gonna have a quarterback.
It sounds good now.
Let's not
play the game.
And let's not act like these receivers are just gonna come in ready made
and be great
for the type of what we're expecting from the Bills. You know how much pressure that is? That's pressure. That's pressure. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if they expect to be that, you know what I'm saying? If they, maybe it's no pressure. Maybe they know, all right, look, this kind of like a little slight rebuild again. We're gonna revamp the defense. We're gonna get some receivers. We're gonna, do a little slight, maybe it's something like that. Maybe it ain't no pressure from them in that regard. Maybe they know they're gonna have a down year. Aaron Rodgers is back. Hello. The Dolphins probably aren't going anywhere. We just talked about how the whole AFC South likely has a chance. The whole AFC North is in the picture. Like, what are we talking about here? They're like you said, the AFC teams
got better.
They're not, unless
Derrick Henry went to the Ravens
last year. But like what?
So
we just can't assume that the receiver is gonna go to the Bills and be great.
So the Bills have 10 draft picks. They have a first, a second, 2 fourths, 3 fifths.
Where they picking first? Where they picking the first round?
28th.
Oh,
yeah, they pick late. So they got 3 fifths. They got 2 seconds or 2 sixths. My bad, 2 sixth round picks and a 7th. So I mean, they could package and try to move up. Package those picks, try to move up. My thing is, I think they double dip at receiver this year. I think one of the things is that with Stefon Diggs, as you can see, he was kind of starting to get phased out of the offense as the year was going on last year. And I think with the emergence with Khalil Shakir, and then you have Dalton Kincaid, who was doing his thing. I think that made it easy for them to move on from him.
Right.
Right.
Khalil Shakir I've liked him since he came out of college. Like, I like Khalil since he came out of college. So he's finally come on the scene a little bit. Like I said, I think they'll double dip at receiver. Their defense may be revamped. We'll see, because I think they lost Poyer and Hyde.
They lost both of them.
Or maybe one of them came back. I don't remember, but I know one of them for sure left because one of them went to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think it was Micah Hyde that went to the Dolphins.
It was one of them.
Might have been Hyde. It was one of them. You're right, though.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. My thing is were they ever really Super Bowl contenders? I mean, 5 years, and they only made it to one AFC Championship game. 4 years since they had Stefon, only one AFC Championship game. So were they really Super Bowl contenders, or were they really just perennial playoff team, perennial playoff contenders? I think they remain that. I don't think that really takes a big hit. They still have Josh Allen. Josh Allen is, as much as we talk trash about Josh Allen, his turnovers, he equalizes a game for the Bills. When things ain't going right, Josh Allen can make something shake. So they still got James Cook, who we saw him playing last year, and how he started coming into his own when Joe Brady became the offensive coordinator. So things may look different next year for them, but I still think they make the playoffs. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but I do think they make the playoffs. I think, whoever they draft this year, they're going to have to come in and make something shake. And there's a ton of receiver talent in this draft. Not saying they're going to come in right away and, be that, but there's a ton of talent in this draft at receiver, where even at corner, like, where they could just, make some stuff shake here and there, and they may be right back where they need to be at.
And I won't knock the late pick.
I'll say this, just to kind of not push back on what you were saying, Lou, but in terms of, you were saying how they were, it seems like that they were already phasing Stefon Diggs out of certain things. He was still lining up, and he's still a hell of a decoy. He's still somebody that you had to pay attention to, which opened up a whole lot of shit for Josh Allen to be Josh Allen. These new guys, or whoever they plan on bringing in or making those people, are semi-unproven just in a little bit, just to a capacity. So these defenses are going to test them. You know what I'm saying? And see for sure, like, all right, what's up? I don't care. You're not just letting Stefon run down the field. I don't give a damn how much you try to phase him out. With him being out there, he's a threat. You know what I'm saying?
But so when I say phase,
when
I say phase him out, I think there was at some point during, like, later in the season, where he wasn't in there on third downs. Like they were legit phasing him out of the offense, And I think that's what led to a lot of his frustration. Like he noticed it. I mean, everybody noticed it. But like he was on the sideline for
But what part of the
third downs.
season was that? Was that before they went on they run with the offense and the new
But
offense?
I think that's when they went. I think that's when they went on their run. Like that's what I'm saying. They started phasing him out. Like even if you look at it, I think at the halfway point of the season, after like the halfway point of the season, he didn't have one game where he had over 100 rush or receiving yards. It's like, and then because you could see at the beginning of the season, they were trying to force him the ball. But then as the season went on, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Once Joe Brady became the OC, they stopped doing that. So I don't know. Like I agree with you. Like he changes the math because he's out there. Like he changes the math on because now, okay, are you going to bring over a safety?
I mean, and the goal is to not even be on third downs.
Yeah.
The goal is to do your damage on first and second downs. So fine, phasing him out of those, but you had him on the field when you were looking to do damage on first and second down. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand though, we understand how important and big third downs is, but again, they're gonna, like you said, ultimately they're gonna look different. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't know, because of how different they're gonna look and kind of how steady and stable other teams in the AFC are gonna look this year. I don't know if they're gonna be contenders.
And don't get me wrong about their late picks. Like you can get Hall of Famers, you can get All Pro talent in the later rounds. You know what I'm saying? So I can attest to us. We're a prime example of that. A lot of our All Pro talent came in between the middle rounds, 3rd through 5th. We only drafted one player in the first 2 players out of the first round that really was elite talent, and that was Bosa and Ayuk. Everybody else was the later rounds. So they got a chance. They can make something shake and be and still be competitive.